Okay, why should you cut your dahlia back and dig it up? And when should you do that? That's one of the biggest questions. Look at this gorgeous little baby. She's still blooming, and yet we're cutting them back and we're digging our dahlias out. So, Aaron, tell me.
The normal way of things with dahlias is you normally would wait until the first freeze.
Come closer, babe.
The dahlias would start to wilt and go down to the ground, and after that time is when we normally would cut them. Actually, in our area, that's when we would normally do it, but in our case we have other things going on, and so the rule of thumb is as long as the dahlia has been in the ground for 120 days, tubers will be to a place where they can be dug up and they've reached maturity and they can be stored for the winter. So for us, we're going through and it's still totally sunny. It's almost November 1st.
And they're still blooming.
And
like we cut
going.
blooms off to cut them down. So it feels a little bit wrong, but it's okay.
Yeah, we can't wait any longer. We got to do it. It's what works for our schedule. So
if your dahlia has been planted, it's been growing for 120 days.
Yeah.
That's what you want to think about, because you want the tuber to have time to have absorbed nutrients and to get mature, and so that you're not taking it out of the ground before it's gotten to that point. So that's the first thing.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is that we choose to dig our dahlias up. Not every gardener chooses to do that. Every climate is different. Every yard is different. Every bed in our yard is different. But right here where we do our big dahlia cutting garden is so soggy and wet during the winter. If we leave our tubers in the ground right here, they'll just rot.
Yeah.
And so then in the springtime, nothing would come up, and if you dug it to try to find it, it would just be mush. So that's the number one reason why we dig our dahlias up, because we want to ensure that they make it through the winter. Now, if you have dahlias in your garden and you're thinking, I don't really care if they die, give it a shot. See if they can make it through your winter. But if you have really cold winters, so here in the Pacific Northwest, we get like a week maybe of it freezing, and so it isn't so much that our dahlias would freeze. Ours are more likely to get too wet and rot. If you get more than a week of really freezing cold temperatures, don't leave your dahlias in the ground. They will freeze, and that would also kill them. So those are the two main reasons why you would dig them. And we put a whole blog together with a bunch of different details, how we dig them, how we store them. So comment below, we'll send you the blog, and then you can decide for yourself. Do you need to dig yours? Should you cut them back yet? And you'll be ready to keep growing next season.